everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing for you all the Coastal Scents Revealed 3 palette. And before I begin my review, I just want to let you all know that Coastal Scents did send me this palette, so thank you so much to Coastal Scents. And even though it was sent to me, you all will still be getting my honest opinion on the palette. On to the review. This is what the palette looks like. Really nice for travel, which I think is cool. The only bummer is that it doesn't have a mirror in it. Yeah, I wish it had a mirror, but it has 20 different colors. And you know, just looking at this at first, I was kind of like, I wasn't sure because it seemed like the colors were just kind of thrown in here, a bunch of colors. But it does make sense to me because I am a makeup artist, so I can see where all the neutral shades go together and the golds, all the pinks and the purples and the taupes, and then you have your darker colors. So to me, it does make sense. Now, I'm gonna swatch just a few of these and let you know what I think about the pigmentation. So I do have, I'm gonna swatch the black in the palette for you. I'm gonna swatch one of the purples here. Now I gotta say one thing, these are a bit powdery. So just to let you know, FYI, just a little bit powdery. This is 3 of the colors from the palette, which I think swatch really nice. And then I do want to swatch some of the taupes. This taupe is really pretty. However, when I swatch it, it doesn't really show up very well. And that's the one thing I have to say about this palette. Some of these shades do not show up very well, and I don't have a primer. When you apply a primer, it does help with the intensity. And then some of these are just really nicely pigmented to where they do show up pretty well. They're powdery, like I said, they are powdery. So I'm gonna show you that. And then a couple of the lighter ones, because I wanna show you what I'm talking about as far as pigmentation. And there's this one, which is the lightest shade in the palette, which is kind of splotchy, powdery. I'm gonna swatch it right here. When you apply it on though, it does apply on really nice, which is good. So just because something isn't totally pigmented doesn't mean that it's not gonna apply on the eye nice. And then I love this gold color. Just swatched on my finger, it looks really, really nice. Okay, so I swatched it right there. I don't know if you all can see, but that's just a few swatches. What I'm gonna say, some of these shadows in this palette are not that pigmented. When you put them on the eye, they don't show up as well. Maybe it's just my skin tone, like this one right here, which I broke. I broke this one right here. I just broke it right now after I filmed the demo. This doesn't show up on my lid too well, and I think it's because it's the same shade as my skin. I think that's why, but that didn't show up too well. A couple of the colors really didn't show up well. A couple of them are really nice, like this one. I don't know if you can see, it's a nice pinky, ooh, pearly pink, which is really pretty. Let me see if I can swatcheroo right here, which is like down here. I don't know if you can see it. But anyways, some of these, it's a hit and miss as far as pigmentation, but some of them, if they don't swatch well, some of them do apply well in the eyes, some of them don't. All in all, I think this is a good palette if you are a beginner. If you're a beginner and you are just wanting to try out eyeshadows and play around, if you are just starting off as a makeup artist, then I would suggest this because you're gonna need tons and tons and tons of practice. And when you're just starting out, whether you're a makeup artist or not, you don't want to start off with those really highly pigmented shadows because they tend to, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to blend, they can be quite messy. So I always suggest to start off with a palette like this, and you're still gonna get a really pretty look, a really good result. $19.95, check it out. Now what I wanna do is go on straight to the demo, and I'm gonna do that right now, and then when I'm done with that, then I'm gonna give you my final thoughts. I'm gonna start with this brown shade right here, and I'm gonna use that as a transition color in my lid. And I'm using this as a transition color for my crease, and I'm like rounding it out. Now I'm going back in with this deeper brown, and I am just adding that on top of the first shade and still rounding it out. Then I'm gonna blend out the edges. For highlight, I'm taking this color right here. I'm applying it just right here, lightly. Now I'm gonna take this peachy shade and just add this to the lid. Now I'm going to take those two brown shades that I first started out with, and I'm going to apply it to my lower waterline. Now I'm going to go back in with my 217 and just anywhere that I see I lost color in the crease, I'm going to add that back. And this is the final eye look. As I was saying, this is a decent palette. You know, it's not too pigmented. Well, some of them are really pigmented and others aren't, but you know what? It doesn't matter because when you apply them on the eyes, they really do blend out really well. I was just disappointed, and you know, I used this shimmery shade right here. I was disappointed in it because it is really powdery. It's not that pigmented. There are a few like this. Even when I swatch it on my hand, you really can't see it. But then you have the nice ones like this black here. And look at how, you know, it's pigmented. It does the job. The purples, same thing. Swatch it. Well, swatched, it's okay. The pigmentation's okay. You know, one of the other ones, like I said, a little powdery, but then when you swatch them, they're okay. This is a decent palette. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, this is $19.95. It is a decent palette. If you are just starting out, give it a shot. I mean, if you are not comfortable with how colors go together, then you can practice with this, because this palette kind of has like a bunch of colors just kind of thrown together. You know, some of them do make sense. They actually all do make sense. If I'm looking at it now, all the browns and the golds and the pinks and the purples. So you can just play around with this and see if you like it. You can get a good daytime look or a good nighttime look from it. I like the look that I came up with. I think it just looks, it looks good. This is something that I would wear for my day look, basically. But check it out. This is the Revealed 3 from Coastal Scents. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye, everyone.